6 police officers were injured and 217 protesters arrested Friday after a morning of peaceful protests and coordinated disruptions of Donald Trump's inauguration ceremony gave way to ugly street clashes in downtown Washington. At least 2 D.C. police officers and 1 other person were taken to the hospital after run-ins with protesters, D.C. Fire Spokesman Vito Maggiolo told CNN. Acting D.C. Police Chief Peter Newsham said the officers' injuries were considered minor and not life-threatening. Bursts of chaos erupted on 12th and K streets as black-clad anti-fascist protesters smashed storefronts and bus stops, hammered out the windows of a limousine and eventually launched rocks at a phalanx of police lined up in an eastbound crosswalk. Officers responded by launching smoke and flashbang devices, which could be heard from blocks away, into the street to disperse the crowds. Pepper spray and other control devices were used to control the criminal actors and protect persons and property, police said. Anti-Trump protests also broke out Friday in U.S. cities, including New York, Seattle, Dallas, Chicago, and Portland, Oregon. Authorities in Seattle say 1 person was in critical condition at a hospital with a gunshot wound. Demonstrations also took place overseas in Hong Kong, Berlin, and London. In Washington, Newsham told CNN the several hundred demonstrators who actively confronted police were vastly outnumbered by the thousands of non-violent protesters who swarmed the nation's capital for Inauguration Day and Saturday's Women's March on Washington. We have been pointing out all along that this is a very isolated incident, and by and large, everything is going peacefully and a lot of folks have come to the city to enjoy this historic day, not only the Capitol but walking all around the city, he said. But many protesters, including permitted marchers, accused security personnel of denying them access to their planned routes. Ashley Ling, 37, made her way to Franklin Square after an answer coalition protest slated for the Navy Memorial on Pennsylvania Avenue, about a mile away, was effectively blocked by what many there described as onerous security restrictions. She expressed concern that isolated clashes with police would overshadow other messages on display, but sympathized with the rowdier elements in the street.